We'll deal today with the issue of Kitniot, of legumes on Pesach. So again, when the Torah says one should not possess chametz, eat chametz, or get rid of all of his chametz before Pesach, that refers to chametz. The definition of the word chametz is anything which was made from the 5 grains and was leavened or rised to the extent that it fermented in any way. That would be the definition of chametz. And therefore, and by the way, that will be the definition of something you can make matzot out of. So bread you can make, or rather chametz will be only of the 5 species. That's wheat, barley, oats, rye, and spelt, if anyone has spelt at home. But these grains will be may turn into chametz, and only these are the grains that may make matzah for Pesach. Nonetheless, there are other grains out there, and the Gemara explicitly says that when it comes to other grains, even though they look like grain, they be grain and they behave like grain, and it looks like it if it rises like grain, that's not the rising which turns the food into chametz, and therefore permissible to be eaten on Pesach. That's the halacha. The Gemara says rice as an example. That is not chametz, and the Gemara brings halachic authorities in the Gemara that would eat the rice on Pesach, and clearly there is no chametz with that. However, about 700 years ago, in the Ashkenazi countries, so the rabbis have initiated a prohibition against different types of legumes. The reasons were different. There are 3 major differences. One is that they look like grain, and people may mix up the two. The second is that they're turned into flour, and if a person bakes matzot out of flour, if a person bakes matzot out of legume flours, people would misinterpret and make cakes out of wheat flour. And the third is that when they grow them and they pack them, so in a sack of rice, you can always find kernels of wheat, and therefore there's a concern that when you buy yourself rice or any other legumes, or get beans or rye or corn or what have you, that will contain some chametz as well, wheat as well, which will turn into chametz when you cook them, and therefore there's a prohibition against any legumes altogether. That was a prohibition that was established and accepted by all Ashkenazi communities worldwide, and therefore cannot be changed. That's one halacha that one cannot say, one custom, even though a custom one cannot say, well, I would want to follow another custom. That's a custom which was accepted by all Ashkenazim, and anyone who was born Ashkenazi can't dismiss himself from this custom. As I said, it's an Ashkenazi custom. The Sfaris and the Shulchan Aruch says that that's only a custom Ashkenazi took upon them, and the Sephardi communities did not, and therefore Ashkenazi Jews would not have legumes on Pesach, and the Sephardi Jews would. When a girl who's born Sephardi who marries Ashkenazi, or vice versa, born Ashkenazi and marries Sephardi, so we all have 2 people at home eating different dishes. So the common custom is that the wife takes her husband's customs, and therefore if he's Ashkenazi, she would not eat Kitniot legumes at home, which Vajra says if she goes to her parents, she's actually allowed to eat, because originally she had that custom as her own, and vice versa. When an Ashkenazi girl marries a Sephardi man, she can eat Kitniot at home. That is, so she can eat Kitniot at home because again she is now following her husband's customs.